The phone rang at 6:42 on a rainy Tuesday, and in seconds, my entire life turned into something unrecognizable. A school administrator told me my daughter had been waiting 3 hours. I told her she had the wrong person. I'd never been pregnant, never had a daughter. But when I reached the school and saw a little girl alone in the dark hallway, I froze. She had my green eyes, my blonde hair, and the exact same tiny scar beside her mouth I'd carried since childhood. I'm Nora Bennett, 28, an architect with a clean, controlled life in Portland. That night, control disappeared. The girl, Lily, walked up and quietly called me Mommy. The principal showed me enrollment papers, my name, my address, my phone number, and a signature identical to mine. I knew it was forged, but with nowhere else for her to go, I took her home. Over dinner, she told me her last name, Carver. My spoon slipped from my hand. Daniel Carver. The man I'd once planned to marry, brilliant, charming, gone without a word 5 years ago, leaving only a note. Now his daughter sat in my kitchen, insisting he'd told her I was her mother, just sick and too busy to meet her yet. That night, I dug through old records and found a hospital charge from the exact week Lily was supposedly born. I had flight tickets proving I was in Chicago that entire week, hundreds of miles away. Yet a discharge summary listed me as the mother, with a nurse's note about a frightened woman who refused to name the father. Someone had used my identity to give birth. But if Lily wasn't mine, why did she look exactly like me? I bought a DNA test, framing it to her as a game. During the agonizing 2-week wait, something unexpected happened. I fell in love with her. Her stubbornness, her hatred of tomatoes, her fierce little laugh. My sterile apartment slowly filled with crayons and tiny shoes. Then I remembered, years earlier, Daniel and I had visited a fertility clinic together. I'd signed paperwork. I never completed any procedure, but he'd been there. He knew everything. The results came back. 99.98% probability of maternity. Lily was mine. Daniel hadn't found a lookalike. He'd used my own genetic material, forged my signature, and spent 5 years building a story where he was the noble single father, and I was the absent, unstable woman who never wanted her. I hired a private investigator. Within 24 hours, he found Daniel hiding in a rental house outside Portland. I left Lily with a friend and confronted him alone. He admitted everything. The clinic, the surrogate, the forgery, insisting he did it because he believed I'd always choose ambition over a family. I told him stealing a child was never love. It was theft wearing love's face. I didn't call the police immediately. Lily still believed Daniel was her father, and I refused to shatter her world out of anger. Instead, I hired the sharpest family attorney I could find and handed her everything. DNA results, hospital records, travel proof, forged documents, the investigator's file. In 25 years of practice, she said, she'd never seen anything like it. I gave Daniel one choice: sign away his parental rights or face prosecution. His hands shook as he signed. 3 weeks later, in a quiet courtroom, the judge called the circumstances deeply disturbing and granted me full, permanent custody. Lily's name was legally changed to Lily Bennett. The gavel's sound was small, but to me it felt like the whole world resetting into place. The months after weren't perfect. Lily still had nightmares, sometimes crying for Daniel. I couldn't yet explain the full truth, so I simply told her he'd gone away, hating that his lies had made a liar out of me too. One afternoon at the park, she finally asked why I hadn't come sooner. I knelt down and told her the truth she could hold. I hadn't known she existed, and the moment I learned, I came as fast as I could. I promised that if she ever needed me, I would always come. She believed me. And I finally understood what Daniel never had. Children don't need perfect parents. They need ones who tell the truth and show up. On Lily's 5th birthday, amid streamers and frosting, my phone rang. Daniel's name on the screen. It didn't hurt anymore. Just an old ghost. I declined the call. Lily only wanted more sprinkles on her cake. That night, tucking her in beside her little white rabbit toy, I realized what I'd been chasing through the investigation. The lawyer, the courtroom wasn't victory. It was something quieter. Peace. Daniel had tried to build my life on lies. But lies are weak foundations. They always collapse. What remains is the truth. I closed her door, leaving a thin line of light across the floor, and walked to my own room. For the first time in 5 years, I didn't think of Daniel, the hospital, or the courtroom before sleep. I thought only of Lily, laughing at her birthday table. My daughter was home, and so finally was I.